It's Monday, April 8th, the beginning of a new work week. We have lots to tell you today. The coalition government officially opens the long-awaited Manari bypass in the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region. The bypass was constructed through a collaboration between the Ministries of Public Infrastructure and Natural Resources.
The bypass has been a sore subject for many who had lost friends and loved ones on what has been described as a dangerous turn just before entering the town of Letham. In 2017, due to the number of accidents taking part along this strip, in particular fatalities, JR Ranch Incorporated lobbied the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, who, in collaboration with the Ministry of Natural Resources, built this bypass.
It is of extreme importance to us in government and to the people of Region 9. It may appear to be just a road, but many people lost their lives here because of the turn and the way it was constructed badly. And so the bypass really takes out the turn and makes it one straight road onto the bridge.
The year before the last we did Purara Bridge, and this year we're now doing Manari. It's expected that this year will save lives, cut down the travel time.
Both Ministers Trotman and Patterson cut the ribbon to mark the official opening of the Manari bypass on Saturday. They were accompanied by Malika Kamabaj from the Arapaima Primary School. Also present were Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock, Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Valerie Garrido-Lowe, Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin, GGMC Commissioner Newell Dennison, and Letham Mayor John Macedo. For InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
With the new Manari bypass in place, government is already moving ahead with its plans for a new Manari bridge and further infrastructural developments in Letham Region 9.
We're also doing a bridge, a $160 million concrete bridge. So obviously, it is designed that when the new highway comes, it will be appropriate. So you don't have to do a new bridge, so we get ahead of the curve.
Public Infrastructure Minister David Patterson. The new bridge will be 4 lanes. According to Minister Patterson, the road is already 14 meters wide, matching what the ministry has in mind for a new highway. Following Saturday's Manari bypass commissioning, Minister Patterson met with the Rupununi Chamber of Commerce and Industry to discuss further infrastructure developments for the region. Among those projects to be immediately undertaken are main roads in the township of Letham, a solar energy plant, and the airport and airstrip. For InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Officers were today charged by Police Commissioner Leslie James to conduct their duties more efficiently. The top cop made the charge as the Guyana Police Force held the opening ceremony for the Station Management and Newly Subordinate Officers Course 2019.
From this day forward, we would like to see a marked change with your approach to your police duties. We would like to see commitment as you execute your daily routine. We would like to see professionalism when you're engaging with your peers, when you're engaging with your colleagues, and more importantly, when you're engaging with members of the public.
Police Commissioner Leslie James also took the opportunity to address those civilians who are apt in offering bribes to the police.
And let me warn you, the civilians, we'll be coming after you, those of you who are offering. It is simple. Do not commit offenses. If you do not have a tint permit, you just cannot carry a tint on your vehicle.
Commissioner James also debunked claims that he is subject to political influence.
Something was brought to my attention by the minister. And based on that, an investigation ensued. Not instructions. I don't receive instructions. Political instructions. I must make that very clear. I do not receive or will not yield to any political instructions.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
Residents of North Haslington and Enmore North on the east coast of Demerara turned out in their numbers at a meeting hosted by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams to voice their concerns on several matters related to land ownership.
There were numerous complaints concerning the decisions taken by the community's cooperative society to award house lots that were developed and legally inhabited for decades by other residents.
Plus the house, they break down the house. My brother hard working man. He was a fisherman and fisherman work is very hard.
This is one of several grievances shared at the meeting in which the Cooperative Society, in place since the previous administration in 2000, has been accused of corrupt acts. This particular circumstance saw the transport to Sukram's house lot awarded to someone else. Chairman of the Interim Management Committee, IMC, initiated under the coalition government to investigate the works of the Cooperative Society, gave a passionate address.
These communities have moved nowhere over those 90 years. And it was these kind of individuals that are the end of the Cooperative Society. The IMC is here. We've been sent with a mandate to ensure that you, the people in these communities, are given that shot at a good life that is government talk about. And we're moving that way.
After hours of discussion on the issue, the Attorney General provided some options on the way forward.
These are all legal issues the members have with the society. And we'll have to get the facts in each case and look at them and see how best we could resolve them within the confines of the law.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummings, who is also a resident of Haslington, was in attendance.
There was this problem brewing with the co-op, and so I'm here that amicably we can be able to settle this issue and persons were able to, air their concerns.
Reporting for InfoHub, Shaquille Bourne.
Still to come, Minister Norton impressed with the pace and quality of work at the Berbice and Linden synthetic tracks, and Public Security Ministry considering the provision of stipend for community policing groups. The details of these and more when we return.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. The Guyana Prison Service, in collaboration with the Guyana Police Force, is currently seeking the whereabouts of prison escapee 24-year-old John Lambert of 158 North Haslington, East Coast, Demerara. On Sunday, April 7, Lambert escaped the Lusignan Holding Bay No. 3 by way of scaling the southeastern fence. While in the act, he was spotted by the rank manning the observation post, who issued a verbal warning for him to halt. The rank was forced to discharge several rounds in Lambert's general direction. However, this proved to be futile. The sounds of gunshots to signal an emergency and a further alarm was raised by the ranks on duty. This prompted the early response of the Prison Service Task Force and the standby police ranks at Lusignan, who were immediately deployed to effect the emergency response systems. According to records, Lambert was sentenced to serve 4 years imprisonment for the offense of trafficking in cannabis. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of John Lambert is asked to contact the nearest police station, the 911 emergency line, or telephone numbers 229-2019 or 226-1929. In other news, members of the community policing groups across the country may soon be receiving a stipend for the voluntary work they do in keeping their communities safe.
This was hinted by Minister of Public Security Kamraj Ramjatan at a culmination of the CPG's 43rd anniversary route walk held last Saturday at Leonora. While a specific sum was not stated, Minister Ramjatan said the idea is on the table once more resources are available.
As best as our resources could provide, we are going to make the argument that certain stipends come your way.
Minister Ramjatan said due to the work of the CPGs, the Guyana Police Force has been recording better results. He urged them to remain steadfast, being the eyes and ears of the force. The minister assured that better days are coming, adding that they can not only look forward to receiving a stipend but more resources to get the job done.
I want to urge, as minister, that you play your role. We will play ours. We will further try to expand the amount of funding that goes into CPG and, of course, to make lots more available for you.
Several CPGs received certificates of appreciation for the work they have done over the years. For InfoHub, Kippany Jordan.
Minister of Social Cohesion with responsibility for sport, Dr. George Norton, has expressed his satisfaction with ongoing works on the Berbice and Linden synthetic tracks.
During a visit to the sites on April 5th, Minister Norton, along with the technical team, inspected the works which are currently in the third phase. This stage involves groundwork, laying of necessary drainage pipes, curb work, asphalting, and concreting where necessary. The minister said the conclusion of this project will allow athletes to meet new heights. Quoted, "I know that we're not so close to finishing, but we have moved along quite a way from when we started. I'm impressed we are meeting our deadlines." Not only was he satisfied with the transformation of the Bay Rock Community Center ground in Linden, where the track is currently being laid, but also with the quality of work being carried out. Minister Norton said Region 10 has always positively contributed to sporting development in Guyana, and the athletes have always represented the country well at international competitions. He quoted, "Region 10 has been the foundation of sports and particularly track and field in Guyana. Without a synthetic track, now that we are going to have the state-of-the-art track right here, I'm expecting much more." End of quote. The minister noted that the works ongoing at the Berbice synthetic track is progressing nicely. The state-of-the-art Berbice and Linden synthetic tracks will have the necessary amenities for all field events. Phase 4 of the project will see the laying of the synthetic material for an 8-lane 400-meter track. The development of the pavilion and the additional space surrounding is a project that will be scheduled for a later date. The projects are expected to be completed at the end of the year. Neola Dimon, InfoHub.
Easter in Guyana and around the world is usually a time for family and friends. So what better way to bring families and friends together than a do-it-yourself kite-making camp? Let's take a look.
Hundreds of children turn out to a kite-making competition hosted by the Honorable Simone Brooms and her family in the Lodge Housing Scheme area. Several children express excitement to have the first-hand experience of kite making, a true Guyanese tradition. Making the kite frames was Marvin Cole, a Buxtonian, made famous for his expert kite making skills and his determination to ensure that the practice of traditional kite making remains alive. The children, aged 3 to 16, proudly cut, crafted, and attached kite paper, tongues, baller, frills, and other decorative additions to their masterpieces. Calvin Lewis said the activity was an excellent initiative.
What minister has been put on is very well and very good because it educates the youth to different things. We're learning right now how to make kite and how to do your own thing. So I believe Easter is something when everyone to come together, especially the youths.
Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simone Brooms, explained that her family wanted to impact lives during this season.
The more frames we make, the more frames are going, and so I don't think it's not the number. It is the joy and the smile to the face of the children who actually made their own kite.
They're helping these young children just come out and show and express themselves in a way that they couldn't. Some of these kites are looking better than the kites that I flown from last year. It's a really good and fun experience, especially for the persons that really don't have that much money to buy a kite. They can at least show their creativity and make a kite of their own that they can be proud of and fly for this year's Easter 2019.
The kite-making competition provided a creative space for children to express themselves. These are one of kites made at the kite-making competition today in Lodge Housing Scheme. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications, and subscribe to our website for more stories. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.